Hello, my name is the Jordan, coach of the Old Town Orangaroos, bringing you content when you least expect it. The year is 2025. I've accomplished everything I wanted to in VGC Draft League, but the game is still endlessly strategically deep. There's so much variety and combinations that the new format brought me back. When else can I try out Zera Aura and Mega Camerupt? But I'm doing this for a slightly expanded audience. I'm putting this on all my regular socials. I feel there need not be a separation between the Jordan strategy gamer and every other part of me. I'm just one guy, and as I'm navigating a career transition, it makes sense to be my full authentic self. So welcome back, my original dedicated audience. It'll be the same classic team builder and commentary of old, but with slightly more explanations for the new audience. So what are we doing here? This is VGC Draft League. This is an offshoot of competitive Pokemon, its own thing managed through Discord servers and other places online. In a league, you draft the rights to use roughly 10 Pokemon, just like in fantasy football. But each week you schedule with an opponent and you bring 6 Pokemon, you bring 4 to each game, and you bring different movesets, different stat investments. You build a unique team to counter theirs. And so imagine chess, but the bishop can be doing 34 different things. It's all about information gathering, sussing out what your opponent wants to do, and obscuring how you're going to win the game until it's too late for them to do anything about it. So the game is wild, it's chaotic, and this is a new coach to the VBL, my favorite draft league, but they clearly know what they're doing because this is a very extreme team. It's got a lot of speed, it's got very slow speeds, so when they set Trick Room and reverse speeds, they're going first too. And I think extreme is the way to play the game. You want to keep people guessing and then bring more power, more speed than they expect. Not a lot of teams can outspeed my top end here, and not a lot of teams can compete on the slow end either. So it's going to be a really volatile match, and a lot of people's approach would be, I'm just going to be a more defensive build, recognize I'm not always going to go first, because I'm going to tank the hits and then try to win over time. But no, I counter extremes with being even more extreme. So speed is the most important thing in the game, in my assessment, and yes, I have the fastest mon, 143 here, but they are likely to bring Speed Booster, which is these mons here. The green are, I think, the biggest threats most likely to come. Mons that gain access through their ability, 50% more speed than they would normally have. This is an option. They won't always have it, but I feel like that's important when their Flutter Mane is just barely not as fast as Zera Aura, and it's a glass cannon. They want the extra speed. They know that I could be bringing my Speed Booster mon, and theirs is faster. So this appears to be the fastest thing, unless you put the Choice Scarf, the one item that increases your speed, on your fastest mon, and you bring over 300 speed out the gate. This, I think, works really well because with 300 speed, I'm surprising my opponent on turn 1 by going first. I'm clicking Plasma Fists, a strong electric move doing about 50% to this Flutter Mane on lead, and then I have Iron Valiant is my planned partner, is going to do a priority move. So 300 speed and infinite speed, a priority move to take out their top mon before it moves, even if it's 50% faster, and they definitely would expect to go first. So that's kind of like an all-in kind of strat. I run over their fast mode leads, but I would be happy to see one of their slow mode leads. They're trying to set up Trick Room and win with their Reuniclus, Torkoal, and Escavalier, because when you make your mon so incredibly fast, this move Electro Ball, which is based upon how fast you are relative to your opponent, becomes super strong. Like, it becomes a full 150 base power. I'm doing 80% to Torkoal. I can put on the Terra Electric to multiply the damage and become a one-hit KO onto Escavalier 2, on Reuniclus 2. So I completely run over Trick Room leads, and I do well against fast mode leads. So I think this is the kind of mix-up that's really going to help me. And so also, Zera Aura is pretty good. It takes the most one big hits, but it won't need to because it's always going first. I have Electro Web for speed control, and against their few mons that won't take an electric attack, I don't expect Gliscor with Wacky to show up to the match, but I've got a Hyper Beam. Does 50%, sure. But Iron Valiant, by the way, this is... I have a story for each team. This is the first time I redrafted a lot of Pokemon, but in unique combinations. So my original mascot, my new mascot are all here. And Iron Valiant I used a handful of seasons back, and it was my hero. I talked about the whole hero's journey story circle as I used it. It's because this mod has incredible variety, and you can just use different things every single week. Close combat is one strong hit that's a 2-shot against most Pokemon, so that's a good start, but then you've got different tech options for niche situations. Shadow Sneak specifically to snipe the Flutter Mane. Fire Punch just a 2-shot onto Jump Bluff. That's good. And then a surprise Trick Room. You never know when this really fast Mon might actually reverse speed. So that is like a secret disguised win con with my own slow mode, but it might just be a backup if they really have something surprising to outspeed me in fast mode. But I plan to win with fast, aggressive Pokemon. But my contingency, if Trick Room goes up, is I have the slowest Pokemon. It looks like they have the slowest Pokemon, 20 space speed down here. But if you run the one item that cuts your speed in half, with rounding, it's kind of tricky. I end up 1 speed slower than they can all be. They're main threats here. The Torkoal is really, really scary, but if I'm outflanking it, they set up Trick Room and I end up benefiting. I pummel them with rocks. This is a really good one attacking type to have when your opponent is very specifically weak to rocks with no resistances. Seed Bomb is just here in case they Terra Ground, Terra Water, Escavalier, but mostly you just pile them with rocks, and my strategy, if Trick Room goes up, because there's always something they could do, they have Follow Me, they have different ways they might be able to surprise me on lead, but I'm ready with this Mon lurking in the back to stall out those Trick Room turns. This Mon is very defensive, it will live key hits, doing great against Torkoal specifically, lives an Escavalier hit, not great, but at least gets to pelt it with a few rocks, and then survives those turns with Protect, and then once Trick Room is over, I go back to pummeling them with my fast mode Pokemon, which includes Hydreigon, so it'll likely be Zeraora, Iron Valiant, and Credilli and Hydreigon in the back. So this Mon is really strong with the Life Orb boosting its power. It's a 2-hit KO on basically, I think literally all 10 of their Pokemon, and a one-shot specifically, because this Mon has such good coverage, onto Torkoal with Earth Power, Reuniclus with Dark Pulse, Escavalier with Heat Wave, and then Terra Fire is like the perfect defensive Terra. So one Mon on each team can change their type during the game to a pre-selected type, and this gives so many different mix-up potential where I know the Fairy move is coming from Flutter Mane to try to beat Hydreigon. I know a Bug move is coming from Escavalier, and I know that, well, at least I'm no longer weak to other dragon moves. Fire is like the perfect defensive typing to flip matchups from Hydreigon might be in a difficult spot to we live and we do great damage, because this Mon is such a wrecking ball, so I think it's a really good helper in my fast mode. And then we have contingency options, right? This is a very volatile fast mode team I'm bringing, so in case there is something unexpected, game 2, game 3, I pivot into Blastoise, which I've also used in my very first VBL season, but I felt kind of disappointed in it. It was kind of slow-going defensive Pokemon that doesn't accomplish much, but in this new format, it has access to Follow Me, the most impactful single move change you can make to a Pokemon. All of its defensive slow-goingness all of a sudden becomes forgivable when you can redirect attacks into yourself and protect any of your more volatile glass cannon type attackers. And so Follow Me really, really helps with max bulk. I'm living. These are my specific calculations. Flutter Mane boosted Moonblast. I'm usually living 2 of them. We live Torkoal Eruptions all day, and then we don't do damage. This is a supportive Pokemon. That's its role here. But specifically Ice Beam to hit Drumcluff does a 2-shot. To hit Gliscor, if you're going to have one attack, that's good. But everything else, I use Yawn, disrupt my opponents as they try to get into position to do a lot of damage. This can put them to sleep and really slow them down. And then Safety Goggles to direct Jump Bluff. Jump Bluff is their key supportive Mon. While mine is Blastoise, they can put Mons to sleep. They can redirect Mons to itself, and I really want to be good against Jump Bluff specifically. So Safety Goggles is the item that makes you immune to its best moves as a grass type. So that's really helpful. And then Camel, I changed around this whole team to make this very silly Pokemon work. Mega Camerupt is kind of silly. It's kind of like Mega Pokemon in general. They have the same item, the same moveset, no Terra. They always kind of do the same thing, but it is a bundle of huge stats. It has its own firepower. It wins under Trick Room, and it's there just to kind of spook the opponent during the they see the first 6 Pokemon show up and they know, oh, the Mega Camerupt is here. I won't set Trick Room because Mega Camerupt would just win under Trick Room with the 20 speed and the big firepower. So I'll win with fast mode, but then I have the fastest of the fast mode with Scarf Zeraora. So this is mostly just here to steer my opponent towards the kinds of strategies that I can beat. But if they're able to beat me in that fast mode situation, then it is a mix-up. Iron Valiant sets the Trick Room and Camel wins. So it would be great if I can get Mega Camel all the way up to the top of the leaderboard. But this is just a mix-up. The plan is to play fast aggressive. I'm going to show you live commentary coming because the match is soon. Take care, everybody. Match. Okay, I see the 6 we expected to see. No Glacier. Yeah, Terra Water as we expected. Okay, this is what we expect. And so we are ready for these 6 Pokemon, and we will do our Game 1 lead. You could always outthink, etc. Good luck, have fun, but I would prefer to do my thinking before the match until I see a surprise. Okay, the Terras are not surprising. Ground would be inconvenient against my Zeraora, and so I think the jump left lead, frankly, is the main thing that shows up that does change what I do a bit, but I think I can adjust around it. Like, I can swap to Cradilly, it's a grass type, will be immune to its moves. I think it's okay. Frankly, jump up is pretty likely on lead, but this Terra Ground seems really good, but... So, I would love to see no jump left on the lead. Go, fast mode. Flutter Mane Jumpluff. Okay. So, the redirection is what I'm concerned about. I think we want Electro Web then. The redirection is really tricky. So they turn into a ground type, they redirect my moves. Okay, there's a Covert Cloak. It did not get speed dropped. I get put to sleep. And I get taunted. Interesting. So this is okay. We did some damage, they didn't do damage. I mean, going to sleep stinks, but I can take out this Jumpluff, and they don't know that I'm Choice Scarfed yet. Yeah, I would just love to have the Jumpluff be dead, so even if they switch, like, this is good for me. They probably bring me down to Sash. Ooh, the surprise Trick Room Flutter Mane, but I am ready for this. Okay, cool. I mean, I might just lose these mons immediately, but, like, this is okay. I will reverse Trick Room with Iron Valiant if they don't double up, which they probably will. But it is still okay, even if I lose both of these mons and accomplish nothing this turn, because my back can deal with Trick Room. Oh, I'm taunted! Look at them! Okay, well, I get to do some surprise damage here. This is not the plan, but we will work around it. And frankly, Zeraora is not doing much getting put to sleep, so, being asleep. Big damage with Shadow Sneak, and I'm gonna die now. Oh, I had I was living the eruption, which is not what I want. I would really like to get into the right Pokemon now, but Cradilly by itself is a good Pokemon. We are gonna Terra Rock to handle the eruptions better, and we're gonna Rock Slide to do great damage against both of them. Hopefully no Rock Slide misses. So many unpredictable variables, but in the 90% times it hits, we do great damage, we tank the eruption. Room Service Escavalier is freaking awesome. That's such a cool move because now they outflank me, who is meant to outflank them. So they cut their speed. Wow. I got crit and it only took 23. This is not a very strong Torkoal. 2 turns of Trick Room, but no. Well, so here's the unpredictable element here. They could Terra Escavalier. They could target either guy. Escavalier can KO either one, and so therefore I need to hope one lives. I can't use the protect because I would be a sitting duck not protecting next turn. Wow, we are in a very volatile situation. And I think I often lose. Especially with Fluttermane in the back. Wow. So I think I need to preserve Credilli and hope they target it. Because Credilli's the only one that can live the Fluttermane hit. Alright. Please attack Credilli with Escavalier. Yeah, I think I need to make a read here. There's no, just normal clicking buttons is not going to kill this Escavalier, whether it tears or not. Yes! We make the call, we live with Hydreigon, and we KO this Torkoal. Okay. And so now we get to protect with Hydreigon. Escavalier kills us anyway, though. However, the booster speed helps us this turn. So they get their pick of the litter. They get to KO what they want. But unless this is also protect, which I really doubt, then we power through. So they Iron Head, I kill, and then I hopefully finish off this Escavalier in one hit with Life Orb Dragon. It'll be close. If they do that, now it's the right move. I KO. Now. So I got 20% Flitch odds. I definitely win on a crit. I definitely win. They're not bulky. Let's just see it. Definitely surprised them with this Credilli going first, but how did they ready? It's such a wild player. This is why I kind of wanted to record this match, because they brought Trick Room Fluttermane in week 1, 2. They brought Scarf Escavalier last time, and then this time it's Room Service Escavalier to cut its speed. But yeah, the Terra on Credilli turned out to be not as good once I saw Escavalier. That if I turned this into a fire type or had the option to do so, I would have maybe had more reliability in the end game. Wait. Oh, I need to target like a dummy. Okay. All right, we Dark Pulse. No, we got the miss. Oof. Okay, so we had outs, including crits, including flinches, including missing the Mega Horn, which is only 85% accurate. But that was a very not comfortable win. So. Do they do the Jumpluff Terra here? I think I really gain a lot of consistency. I rely on my ability to outplay and bring surprises by bringing Blastoise. I do not have that immediate advantage on turn 1 by having like that speed, but Blastoise and Hydreigon, we just start swinging. We have Credilli. And then we have Zeraora at the end, doing great damage against everything that's not Terra Ground Jumpluff. Let's do that. Yeah, I feel bad. My opponent had some bad luck. So sorry about that, Joey. But what do we see from them? An adjustment, a Torkoal Jumpluff. Okay, so they get to put a dragon to sleep, but I'm just not threatened offensively, and therefore I can just click buttons. Even if they redirect, they could redirect and dodge this move, but this is just power. Like they put him to sleep, and then they get to maybe pivot away, but this is just not a problem. I think we have the right surprise for them. Okay, it's a good move. We get our quality 2-shot. I don't love seeing this Escavalier getting to swing freely. We can yawn it, slow this game down. Yeah, this thing gets to Mega Horn me all day, and I'm not willing to Terra this mon that might not get to move. Lucky 1-turn wake, okay. Damn. So they couldn't have realistically known whether I would wake up on 1 turn or 2 or 3, so that's another RNG element. So now we're very ahead. I mean, this was like a very safe lead where Blastoise was just never getting blown up by anything. They get to taunt. They will be taunting. But I'll just follow me and Dark Pulse. Because this thing could Terra. He hasn't Terra'd. He probably Terra Flyings. Let's just deal with the Torkoal. 2-on-1 Flutter Mane. Yeah, so we dodged that Moonblast that would have killed a dragon. Huge damage. Solar Beam. Good tech, but Blastoise is such a tank. Incredible. So, can we hit both of these guys with the Heat Wave? As long as we clean up. We should clean up Torkoal. Scarf Zera Aura, get him! We are faster than speed boosted Flutter Mane. It's not necessary, so frankly the live commentary ended up being not super exciting. Well, in game 1 was exciting, but I didn't win convincingly. Oh well. You win some, you lose some. See y'all when I decide to do this again. And also I'm going to be sharing more of my full authentic self on here, so stay tuned everybody.